Hello and welcome back to episode 10 of the Julii Very Hard campaign. We are at a very exciting but nerve-wracking point in this campaign. We managed to take all three of the Carthaginian cities in northern Africa while maintaining a rocky alliance with the Numidians. They helped us out in a battle to defend Carthage last part, but barely. They barely jumped in to help us at the last moment, and it's kind of looking like maybe they pulled up this army to betray us at Carthage. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but just in case, we are going to build some more Roman archers to defend Carthage. So yes, we're building some archers. We will also go ahead and retrain the Hastati and archers inside of the city because I have a feeling we may need them sooner rather than later. This is a decent army, not that strong, and we will have the defense of the walls, but I'm a little bit nervous about Carthage now that we don't have that much of an army here. We've kind of stretched ourselves between these different cities in order to knock the Carthaginians out of the game. But speaking of knocking the Carthaginians out of the game, Quintus Victor has a decent-sized army at Thapsus, and I have been debating between attacking the Numidians, who I hate and would love to betray. I would love to take Cirta, get another port in the Mediterranean so we can get our trade going up a little bit, but I think it's more important to knock the Carthaginians out of the game. So I could attack Bomilcar, get him out of our land. He does still have a decent, not that great army here, so there is an argument for that. However, I think it is more important to knock them out of the game fully by taking Palma. Palma is a great gateway to Spain, and Spain is very important because it gives us a means to push back against the Gauls that is not just from like Mediolanium and Segesta. So I think it is a good idea for us to take as much of this infantry and Quintus Victor as possible out of Thapsus. Let's see if we can hold on to this city with monthly. We got to do daily games, which isn't very cost effective, but that gets us to 70% public order, and then we'll train some peasants, and that'll go up to 75% at the end of the turn, so Thapsus should be safe. And we will just go ahead and take this army with Admiral Luca's fleet and start pushing towards Palma. It'll take us probably 4 turns to get there, but we will just start working in that direction, hopefully knock the Carthaginians out of the game, and then we can turn our attention to the Spanish and potentially the Numidians. In Greece, last part, we managed to take Sparta. It was a very close battle. We realized how technologically outclassed we are right now by the Greeks. As much as we can't afford the Marian reforms right now, because our economy is really very poor, we really need the Marian reforms to happen because we just cannot handle armored hoplites. We used all of the missiles from a full stack army, and we took out like 4 units of armored hoplites, something like that. So very scary stuff. I am currently leaving Sparta mostly undefended. I have about a half stack army in here, and I'm building some more Roman archers, but I'm taking that risk even though Greece has some big armies, because I think it's important to deal a blow to the Greeks. That is not just Sparta. I want to also take Athens. They've left it mostly undefended. There are 2 units here. One of them is armored hoplites. I don't know what the other unit is, but I've taken this half of the army with Marcus Julius and the 2 ballistas, and I want to see if we can get Athens next turn. I don't think we can get there this turn. We can get there, but we can't take all the troops to actually take Athens. I mean, we could take we could take the cavalry off the fleet. They have enough move points, but the ballistas cannot make it to shore, so we won't do that yet. We will just hang out on this fleet. I'm going to combine these biremes so that if we get attacked by a Greek navy like this one, they won't sink us automatically. They may do damage to us, they may bat us out of the way, but they won't sink us. So hopefully we can take Athens next turn. I'm guessing that they might try and take Sparta, and you know what? They have ballistas at Corinth. So if they want to take Sparta, they can try to take it this turn. But with this many archers, with Hastati, with stone walls, I think we could hold on to Sparta, but we are definitely taking a risk by immediately moving to take Athens right away. I think it's worth it though. We want to just take these cities as quickly as possible. Blitzkrieg is the name of the game because the Bruttii are coming for Larissa, and then they're coming for Athens and Corinth. So we really need to just push through these cities as quickly as possible. Try our best to eventually get rid of these armies out in the field, but they are tough. They are definitely tough. The Greeks have a technological advantage over us at this point in the game. In Italy, Segesta looks like it's about to rebel. However, we have a governor's palace that will be complete at the end of the turn, so we can just leave Segesta at high tax rate. We have public order of 65%, so that'll be over that 70% threshold at the end of the turn. We still have Manius Julius just hanging out on this bridge, and for now, he's needed there. He keeps getting attacked almost every other turn by a full stack army, half stack army of the Gauls. So for now, he has to just wait here. But at some point, we want to move up this defensive position to this bridge and take Massilia so that we can stop just defending, and we want to make some gains. We want to improve our economy. We want to grow. But right now, we just can't afford to field an army strong enough to do that. So the Marian reforms are coming. They're coming soon. And when they come, we will retool all of our armies as quickly as we can, and we will start taking some Gallic cities and expanding more rapidly. But, I mean, man, would you look at that? Already, 24,412 population in Carthage. We could build an imperial palace, and in 6 turns, the Marian reforms would be here. As soon as you have a huge city, the Marian reforms start. We just don't have the money right now. So we don't want to start the Marian reforms immediately, but they're coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. In other news, we have Decius Julius in Ariminum. He has almost finished retraining his army in Ariminum, and we're going to send him to counterattack against the Thracians. He was previously just defending against attacks from the Thracians. They kept bringing armies, and he was defending. But we've given them some better weapons, better armor, and at this point, this is a pretty decent army. So I think we're ready to send Decius Julius. I don't even want to necessarily wait for these Illyrians to be retrained. I think I'm just going to leave them behind, the ones that don't have the new weapons and armor, and I'm just going to take the rest of the army, if I can, without Ariminum totally freaking out on us. Yeah, 75% public order, that's fine. And we're going to take this army onto Admiral Oppius's fleet and just go ahead and move out now. Next turn we can land that army. I don't think we can land them now. No, but we can land them next turn and start pushing towards Bilazora, see if we can take a city off the Thracians and hopefully slow the flow of armies coming in to attack us at Salona and Segestica. As far as Senate missions go right now, we have one Senate mission right now, which is to take Larissa. In turn, we will be rewarded with a unit of Triarii, and we're not going to do that. We have 9 turns to take Larissa, but Larissa is low priority. It's well defended. It's not that good of a city. Compared to Athens and Corinth, we don't need to be competing with the Bruttii to take Larissa. Maybe if they have armies here and they defeat the armies out in the field, maybe we could send up a unit of cavalry and try and sneak in and have the Bruttii do the fighting for us and take Larissa, but I'm not planning on actually taking Larissa. I'm going to assume that's going to the Bruttii, and I'm just going to focus my attention on Athens and Corinth for now. So in 9 turns, the Senate may be a little bit disappointed with me, but we're currently at 7 out of 10 popularity with the Senate, so that's not horrible. All right, we've deployed our fleets, we've deployed our armies. Let's go ahead and bring Admiral Decimus in to reinforce Admiral Luca here with another bireme, just in case this army gets attacked by any pirates in the area. We don't want to lose this army on the way to Palma. But let's go ahead and end this turn. Hopefully nothing happens. I don't want to be attacked by anyone. I can't afford it. The Gauls are moving in. The Numidians are betraying us. The Thracians are attacking. So actually a lot of things happened. Yeah, we are besieged at Carthage, which is a shame. I knew the Numidians wanted to attack us, but I didn't think it would come quite this quickly. Luckily, we have 4 units of archers and some Hastati. Luca is not a bad general. So I think we can hold on to Carthage, but we don't have enough strength here to sally out. Maybe we could send some reinforcements from Thapsus at some point, some cavalry, but we definitely may need to rely on the stone walls in Carthage. Just put those archers up on the high ground on those walls and do a good old-fashioned siege defense if they want to take Carthage. Yeah, we knew the Numidians were going to betray us. Honor and virtue have no meaning for these people. By betraying us, they are worthy only of our undying defiance. We should bury the sword up to the hilt in their liars' guts. I agree. I fully agree with that sentiment. Still, though, I think it's important for us to take out the Carthaginians before we start attacking the Numidians. Let's go ahead and move this fleet. Hopefully not going to run into any Numidian fleets. No, but there is a Numidian army here. Mutinies. That's a funny name for a Numidian army. Mutinies. That's the faction heir. Doesn't look like that good of an army, but it's coming to reinforce the siege of Carthage, so that is annoying. But, I mean, at this point, we are at war with the Numidians, the Spanish, the Gauls, the Thracians, the Greeks. So we have too many enemies. We need to get the Carthaginians out of the game before we move our attention to the Numidians. But that is coming. I would like Cirta. Cirta's a good city. So that may be our next target, or we may have to go back to try and defend Carthage. But we shall see. Can we spare this cavalry out of Thapsus? Interesting. Yes, their public order went up significantly when we took troops out. Can we do monthly games here? Yeah, that saves us some money too. Thapsus hates us so much that when we took troops out, we actually increased the public order. So that's interesting. But that means that we can take this cavalry and use it to reinforce Carthage. I'm still not sure that I want to attack this army. I don't know that I want to start this. I would like this to be a classic siege defense of Carthage, but it's at least good that we have reinforcements here in case they do try to take the city. We may use these cavalry to try and fight off mutinies, or at least weaken him a little bit, but we'll see. For now, they're just going to hang out outside of Carthage. Mutinies can almost reach this army next turn, so it looks like we may need to deal with that sooner rather than later. But for now, let's go through the rest of our announcements. Good thing we finished building those archers in Carthage. Construction report, we completed our governor's palace in Segesta, which is why we don't have rioting in Segesta. It would be great to build all kinds of things now that we have a minor city in Segesta. But I think we want to prioritize money right now. So we could build crop rotation for an extra 70 farming income. We could build highways for an extra 100 trade income. Forum for an extra 40 trade income. Or a shipwright for an extra 200 trade income. Let's go with that. Shipwright only costs 1,600, takes 3 turns to build, and that'll pay for itself in 8 turns once it's been built. So that will be worth doing. Just getting our trade income slowly moving up in the Mediterranean. In Segesta, we completed our mines +1, so now we're making 875 mining income per turn. That is incredible. And what do we want to build here? I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have a wooden wall since we're being attacked all the time. Definitely makes sense to repair the wooden palisade we have. We'll do that. What do we want to build here? How much would we get off a trader? Basically nothing, or rather a market. Paved roads. Oh, that's worth 200. We'll do that. Yeah, that'll increase our trade by a lot. And that helps us with moving around troops, so that will be worth getting in Segestica. In Patavium, we got a shipwright. Again, there are a lot of things I would like to build, but we can't really afford them. How much trade will we get off a dockyard? Good amount, a little over 100, but we can't afford it. So right now, we're not going to build anything in Patavium. Mediolanium, we got our governor's palace, so we could build a stone wall, we could build highways, we could build an archery range, all kinds of stuff. But I think for now, we'll just hold off. We need to make sure we can afford our armies before we invest in more building upgrades right now. In Sparta, we got sewers, and we could build highways, crop rotation, or a market. For now, I don't think we'll build anything in Sparta. Let's see if we can just take Athens this turn, and then we'll have a better idea of what we want to do with Sparta. Probably just build more Roman archers, because I'm sure Melicertes of Sparta will be trying to take his home city back soon. And he does have ballistas. So yeah, we're probably going to want to build some archers. Let's go ahead and queue them now, but we'll see if we need to build them. I think we probably will. I'm tempted to try and take Corinth, because Corinth only has 1 unit in it. Athens has 2 units in it. I mean, could we take both by any chance? We need 2 ballistas to knock down walls, and I think to knock down gates, we'd need 2 ballistas as well. So let's take Athens first. We know we can take Athens. We can take out their faction leader, Cleon of Sparta, and then we'll see if we can make it to Corinth this turn. I'm not going to get my hopes up for that, but we shall see. Let's go ahead and land this army outside of Athens. We'll bring this fleet around to here, and we can use it to ferry my army, if we're successful in Athens, over to potentially take Corinth. Do we want to buy any mercenaries here? I don't think we need to. There's only 2 units here. Yes, they have 92 heavy cavalry, and yes, they have armored hoplites, but I still think we can win this. We have 4 units of infantry, 2 units of cavalry, we have a lot of heavy cavalry, and we have 2 units of archers, so we should be able to win that. I mean, Maybe we should get some mercenary hoplites to counter their armored hoplites. Yeah, I'll get 1 unit of mercenary hoplites just to have a little bit of strength in case we do end up needing to pin those armored hoplites with another unit of hoplites and encircle them on the city center or something like that. We had 2 agents found, one at Thapsus by the Numidians and one at Aquincum by the Dacians. Both escaped, unfortunately. We got Senate offices assigned. We got an aedile for Lucius Julius. I thought we had 2. Yeah, he was a quaestor, now he's an aedile. So isn't that a downgrade? I'm not sure. Maybe the Roman Senate is not very happy with me. Let's see. Still 7 out of 10. Yeah, I really wish we could get a lot of those office assignments for my generals, because it's those are good traits. Comes with a lot of increases to influence. +1 influence from ex-quaestor. What does he get for aedile? I don't even see a trait for aedile. Lucius Julius also used to be a quaestor. That's tough. We are losing Senate assignments, unfortunately. Let's take a look at our end of turn report. We profited 1,100 denarii that turn. Very good. Proud of you guys. The merchants are working overtime. Any profit at this point in the campaign is something I will celebrate because our economy is not doing great. But we are about to get a good amount of money off of Athens. Do we want to enslave Athens or exterminate Athens? I mean, we could definitely use the population in Salona. That would be nice. We're at 1,600 population. We might want to just dump population there if we enslave Athens. What about Segestica? Could we get a general to Segestica? No, we don't have any generals that could get there. I really don't want to be dealing with the Thracians. We're not going to be able to take this army to go attack Thrace because we need to kill this family member first. Gaidres. Oh well, Admiral Oppius, go ahead and drop off your army right here. And actually, we don't want to be backed up against a beach, because if we lose that battle, then the whole army disbands. Well, we're on a beach anyways, but hopefully if Gaidres attacks us, I mean, we shouldn't lose that battle. It's a pretty decent army. But yeah, next turn we will attack Gaidres, unless they just want peace. I would like peace. I really don't need to be fighting you guys. No, they're not willing. Could buy some more Illyrians, but we'll hold off. We need our money more than we need some junk mercenaries right now. And let's go ahead and get Admiral Oppius inside of a port at Ariminum. Oof, Batavium is unhappy with me. Everyone's unhappy right now. We're at a rough part right now, as far as our public order, economy, all of that. We're making good progress as far as conquests goes, but that's about it. Speaking of, I think it's time to take Athens. We need to go ahead and remove our generals from any city that we don't want to send population to. Segesta we could send population to, but they're at 6,877. I don't think we need to send population there right now. So we'll take the general out of there. We'll take Lucius Julius out of Mediolanium. They have 7,800 population, so they also don't need it. No generals at Arretium, Ariminum, Patavium, Juvavum, Segestica, or Quincum. We couldn't get Decius Julius to Segestica this turn, even if we tried. Unfortunately, it'd be nice to send some population there at some point. But for now, we will just have to send population to Salona. Some population, unfortunately, is going to go to Carthage, I think. I think it gets through the siege. But we just can't take Lucca out of Carthage without fighting through this army, which I'm not willing to do right now. So some population will end up going to Carthage, I believe. But all right, let's go ahead and fight this battle for Athens. Hopefully this goes smoothly. Let's take a look at Cleon of Sparta. Ooh. He has all the unique retinue, which you tend to see often in Athens. He has a Sharugan, Callimachus of Cyrene, Ctesippus, Herodas, Hieronymus, and Chrysippus. These are all unique tutors and poets and great thinkers, inventors, that kind of stuff that you get in almost always in Athens, because the first faction that gets an academy gets a bunch of these unique named retinues, and if you pass them down from general to general, you could have them forever. So they're really useful. They're pretty good. Let's see. We have +1 management, plus 30 build points, +1 to public health, +1 morale, +1 influence, +1 management, +1 management from this guy. So they're very good retinue. You definitely want to get them if you can. You can only get them if you're the first faction to take an academy, and Athens starts the game with an academy. So the Greeks don't start with Athens, but they're right next to it. It's a rebel settlement. So when they take Athens, they get all of those retinues, and it looks like they've managed to hold on to that retinue for the whole game. So good for them. However, they are going to lose all of that retinue. Now, it's a shame that it has to die with Cleon of Sparta, but the only way to get that retinue off of the faction that gets it originally is to bribe the general, but you can't bribe a factionaire or a faction leader. So we have to just kill all of this retinue, unfortunately. Dies with Cleon. But let's take a look at his traits. He has been in the wars for extra hit points, untouched by fear +1 morale, reverent +1 morale, Herodes +1 morale, poet and author of mimes. Herodes has a knack of using the language of the common man to liven up his body comedy, a useful skill when writing speeches that appeal to the masses. +1 influence, +1 morale for all troops on the battlefield. So they're actually going to have a lot of morale. They already have excellent morale? No, good morale. Armored hoplites do not break usually. So, armor of 11, shield strength of 5, good morale, good stamina. Armored hoplites are scary. This is going to be a tough battle, I think. I think we got it. We outnumber them like 7-1. But still going to be a challenge. I need to be careful with all that heavy cavalry on the field and also those armored hoplites. Alright, this is similar to the Siege of Sparta, but it should be easier because there are fewer troops to deal with. Let's go ahead and knock down the walls over here. I think that's going to be the easiest entry point. We want to stay away from the main gateway if possible. And let's get all of our infantry over here, our archers over here, and our armored hoplites. We'll get our cavalry over here. Most likely not going to use them, but they're always useful to have nearby. And let's start this battle. Looks like they are defending the front gates with their general's unit. So they're leaving their armored hoplites on the city center. Hopefully we can knock down this portion of wall, send in some principes or something to start turning these towers, and then we can get all of our troops inside the city without taking any damage. But let's go ahead and knock down the walls first. I think we should have decent accuracy from here. Yeah. I'm going to keep an eye on it, see if we start missing any bolts. As long as we do 5% damage per volley, we're not missing anything. I think we missed a couple bolts there during that animation. You know, I wonder if you fired one volley at a time and then you hit pause, if you would have a better shot at not missing anything because you wouldn't be firing actively during those animations where you have pieces falling off the walls. It's kind of annoying, but it's probably helpful. I guess it's not really a big deal. It's not like we're going to run out of ammunition, but I'm just trying it for my own information. Yeah, I'm going to tell myself that that does improve accuracy slightly. They probably slightly change where they're shooting as the wall crumbles. Maybe fire like 2 volleys. Let it crumble, and then fire again. Alright, at this point I'm going to stop doing that. I think this basically is as crumbled as it gets until it collapses. And there we go. Walls knocked down. They have gone to the city center, so they're not even trying to defend. Let's go ahead and send in these Hastati, and we're just going to sprint them in and have them turn these towers so we can get the rest of the army in safely. So, get inside, run over here, get up on the walls, and then once this tower turns, we'll send in the second unit, and they're going to turn this tower. So they'll take some more damage as well. Go quickly, get up on the walls. Okay, so this tower has turned. This tower has turned. Both units took some casualties, but now the danger is gone. We won't take any more damage from towers. So let's send these units around to just turn any towers that we are likely to run into. We don't need to turn them all, just a couple. And then we can start bringing the rest of the army inside the city. So let's go ahead and bring in the mercenary hoplites. We will have them just kind of hold a line here and protect the rest of the army as we move in. And we'll just bring in all of our troops. Bring in our general, bring in our archers. I'm guessing that they're not going to leave the city center, but we'll keep an eye on them. If they do, we'll drop our spears with our hoplites, and we will defend ourselves. But yeah, we have these towers now, so if they try to charge after us, they'll have to get shot in the side by these towers. All right, I think we've turned enough towers. We're probably just going to attack from this one angle. I don't think we need to flank the enemy because we want all of our troops to be near the general. So let's go ahead and get our Hastati off the walls now that they've turned these couple of towers. And let's check on these ones. Yeah, you guys have turned enough towers as well. Go ahead and run over to here. I mean, we could bring in our ballistas and try and get a shot onto the city center. That's kind of ridiculous, but we'll see. I mean, I'll give it a shot. I'm not beyond trying that. I don't think it'll work. I don't think they can even get in the city. No, they can't. Okay. Well, ballistas are done for the day, so they can go relax. But let's get our Principes here, general here. We'll bring in our cavalry, just in case we do end up needing them. Bring in our archers, turn on guard mode, turn off skirmish mode. And I think we'll just have our Hastati hang out at the back. I'm hoping not to really need them as they are weakened. We'll have them just guard the flanks, just in case for some reason I'm not paying attention. Yeah, there you go. Face out, protect the flanks. And everything's inside the city now except for our ballistas, so that's good. Okay, we'll go ahead and drop our spears with our hoplites and move up. We're just going to slowly move up this street and follow up with our Principes. Guard mode, fire at will enabled for our Hastati and our Principes. And if we get charged by the enemy general, it's gonna hurt. Regardless of if we have prepared spears that they're running into, it's gonna hurt. That's a lot of heavy cavalry. So we have to be prepared for that. We need to keep our general near our hoplites at all times. And hopefully we can bait out one of these units with my archers and get them to charge off the city center so we can do some damage to them. It is always hard to navigate on these tiny streets, but we're gonna do our best. The important units are the Principes and the general and the hoplites. The other units, we are moving up, but they're not super important. We are almost at the point where we need to slow this down. So I'm gonna go down to double game speed. We just don't want to get caught unawares. Now, I think we can move our hoplites up to right here. That way we can get our Principes up here. Perfect, okay. Now we just need our hoplites to keep their spears down and not get charged immediately. As soon as we touch the city center, the enemy are going to want to charge us. Get your spears down. They're not fully guarding the Principes right now, but they'll get their spears down and we'll be okay. Okay, looks like the enemy armored hoplites are wanting to get involved now. When they get up here, the Principes will get some shots into them and we'll do some good damage. Is my general nearby? We're going to need him for moral support. Yes, okay. Let's get our archers a little closer as well. This unit of archers actually has a shot. Does this unit have a shot? Yes, just fire. See if we can do some damage to these armored hoplites. See if we can get some Pila in with our Principes. Come on, get all your Pila in. We want to do as much damage as possible. And then I kind of want to retreat with my Principes. Let me see if I can get another volley in. I'm giving the stop command so that they throw their Pila again. Okay, this is gonna be messy. These units are tough. Come on, archers, just fire if you can. Fire at anything. Let's get these Hastati up to here. We want to get their Pila in if possible. I'm keeping an eye on the morale of my hoplites. They are going to struggle fighting against the enemy cavalry and the enemy hoplites, but they're essential here. The spears are going to provide a good amount of protection for us. Principes should do pretty well. If we can kill the enemy general, that will help a lot with our troops' morale. Mercenary hoplites went down to shaken for a second, so we are gonna rally troops, and let's just get my Principes in here to help out with the fighting more. That should help with morale a little bit. But these mercenary hoplites, they're wavering, they're down to 50. If they break, we may have a mass rout situation. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Let's retreat our archers up onto the walls, because if we have a mass rout, we need to at least do some damage to the enemy in return. So, come on, don't break. They're gonna break here any second, I think. Don't break, please. They broke. We just need our Principes not to break at this point. Get my Hastati in here to help. My Principes are still eager, so that's good. We're gonna get ready to rally troops. Okay. Principes went down to shaken, so we rallied troops. All of our infantry just fight. Try and throw your Pila if you can. We're not getting my general in here because I don't want to lose him to an armored hoplite spear. We're just trying to chunk through these enemies as best we can. Are the archers moving? Okay, one unit of archers is running. The other is not. So I'm going to go ahead and send those archers. Let's get our Equites up here for moral support a little bit. How is the fighting going? Are we getting some kills in at least? Bodyguard is down to 43. Armored hoplites are down to 110. They're doing better than we are. Down to shaken. Rally troops again. See if we can get that unit of Principes over to eager. My general's kind of near the front here, so I'm getting nervous. Let's back up my general. I don't want to lose him. Ah, man. They are doing a lot of damage to us. I'm going to tell all of my units of Principes and Hastati to stop for a second, and then I'm going to tell them to attack again so that they hopefully throw their Pila. Let's see if it works. Come on, throw your Pila. This is good. There's a lull in the action. We got a couple Pila in. Throw your Pila. Enemy general is down to 36. If we can just get lucky and kill the enemy general, we can win this. Come on, throw your Pila at the general, even though he's at point blank. How is morale? Morale's good for now. Come on, throw your Pila, throw your Pila. Kill the enemy general. I don't think we're really throwing. Okay, I just rallied troops because one of my units was down to wavering. Oh, guys, just fight the enemy general at this point. Just kill the enemy general. They're not using their hoplites, which is a very bad idea. But if we can kill the general himself, then morale will be much better. Speed this up a little bit. We're just slowly chunking through the enemy. Everyone's eager right now, so that's good. And the general is in this half of the unit that's not stuck here. So some of the general's unit is over here trying to kill this random dude and stuck behind the armored hoplites. And just a couple of the enemy general's bodyguard are protecting the general himself. So he should die here pretty quickly. Come on, guys. Shaken. I'm going to rally troops again. Up to steady. Yeah, these Principes are almost completely gone. As soon as we kill this general, let's pull the Principes back so we don't lose them. Or so they don't break. Come on, kill the general. General's dead. Beautiful. Pull the Principes back. We're going to let the Hastati take over. So Hastati, get some Pila in. Don't fire at will. Fire up the armored hoplites. They're wavering. Come on, come on. Throw your Pila. Okay, I'm going to say fire at will so that they hopefully throw their Pila. Come on. If we can hit them in the back with our Pila, this could be huge. Come on. Do we have a shot? No, it's too far. That's okay. That went pretty well. We killed the enemy general. We took out a good amount of the armored hoplites. Let's let our troops rest a little bit. They're tired right now. We can pull our archers off the walls now that we've killed the enemy general. And we're going to try and use our Pila, use our Hastati as a front line, and then we will use our archers. And maybe our general if we need to. The enemy can't break on the city center, but now that their general is gone, their morale will be much lower when they're fighting. So their morale being lower makes my troops' morale higher. Even though they can't break, it's still good for them to have low morale. So once we're down to fresh, we're going to go ahead and redeploy some troops probably on the city center here. But still, I don't think I'm comfortable using my Principes anymore. I'd rather use my Equites than my Principes because they're just too weak. All right, let's get our archers up into the street so we can use them if we need to. Our Hastati are fresh, so that's all we need. We're going to go ahead and sprint our Hastati up to right here on the city center. And then I'm going to slow this down a little bit. We'll get our general up here as well for moral support. We'll get our Equites up here because I think we're going to end up needing to use them. Okay. General's bodyguard, charge into my Principes. That's okay. Not too worried about that. And can we get my archers up here to start firing at the enemy armored hoplites? That would be great. Okay, I'm going to tell my Hastati to stop sprinting so that they throw some Pila into this unit of armored hoplites. Let's get my general up here. We need him for moral support once we start fighting these armored hoplites. And let's get these Equites to sprint as well. Can we get some Pila in? Please? Come on, guys. Throw Pila. They are not wanting to throw Pila. Maybe this unit will? Okay, we got a good volley into the front of these hoplites. Can we get a volley into the back? There we go. That does way more damage. You can see how much more damage it does when they're not hitting the shields. That was really good. Everyone stop and then fire again. Throw those Pila in. I mean, it's fine if they're fighting the front of this armored hoplite, but I would prefer they throw their Pila. Looks like the Equites are getting involved as well. They're going to take a ton of casualties, but they're also going to kind of disturb the formation of the hoplite, so I'm not opposed. There we go. Another good volley from the Hastati. Alright, yeah, you know what? Cavalry, just charge. Everyone just totally encircle these hoplites and try and break up their formation, get them to fight with their swords, and just cut them down. They cannot survive this. Beautiful. And the last soldier of Athens dies a Greek death. Beautiful. We killed 253 of them. They killed 586 of us, but we took the city, and that's what matters. Now, let's see how much population we have in Athens. Perfect. Enslaving will send 6,000 population to Salona. We might not even be able to hold on to that. But, oh man, can we hold on to that? That is the question. I think that would be too much population for Salona. And we could really use 8,000 denarii right now from sacking Athens. Maybe we'll exterminate Athens. That's a good amount of money. That allows us to retrain this whole army. Although, could we make it to Corinth? Let me see. Let me put a unit of Equites on this. Oh, that unit of Equites could easily make it to Corinth. Could a unit of ballistas make it to Corinth? Yes. Alright, I think we're going to try and take Corinth too. Okay. We will leave behind the Principes in Athens. And we'll take everyone else. And we're going to take Corinth. So let's get our ballistas. We will get both units. No, we'll leave behind a unit of Astati. We'll get our archers. And we'll leave behind these mercenary hoplites. And then we'll go ahead and use our Equites to start the siege in Corinth. And merge the rest of the army. Ooh. Okay, we have to do it on this square. So we'll use this unit of Equites to start the siege. Can we merge into them? Okay, there we go. Perfect. And now we can take Corinth as well. Hopefully. Yeah, we can handle a unit of armored hoplites for sure. And I mean, this, oh wow, this little fleet has 12. It's trapped and it has 3 units of hoplites. Can we sink this fleet by any chance? Yes, perfect. So we just took care of 3 units of hoplites that we won't need to fight in the field. That's nice. And Athens, I don't know if we're going to be able to hold on to the city, but we're going to repair the units we have there. We're going to bring down the tax rate to low. And let's train some Roman archers. And then we'll queue up some peasants. That brings public order to 55%, but it'll go up at the end of the turn when we repair the units inside of here and we get more archers. How much is this city worth? The mine's worth 200, trade is 1380. Yeah, this is a good city. This is going to help the economy. Now, Corinth. Let's go ahead and buy these mercenary peltas. I don't want to just barely lose this battle because I didn't bring a unit of mercenary peltas, right? We don't have that much strength. I guess we could send some troops over from Sparta to help out. No, I think we can handle it with... Can we, though? Let's send at least 1 unit of Astati, so we have some decent light infantry in Corinth. And if we could get all 3 of these cities right now, even if they end up counterattacking and maybe taking one of these cities back, maybe even taking 2 of these cities back, I think it's going to be very important that we just take Corinth right now. So let's try this. Captain Asopus. 1 unit of armored hoplites. I think we can win this. Could we take all of the southern peninsula of Greece right now? All right, we want a nice wide stretch of wall to shoot. Hopefully not with a bunch of towers that are going to shoot us. Yeah, we'll go right here. This little bend in the wall so this tower won't get any shots into us. And we'll bring over all the rest of our troops, just like we did in the last siege. Very similar siege here, but now we don't have to deal with heavy cavalry. We'll go ahead and knock down this portion of wall. And let's bring in our reinforcement equites. We'll maybe end up using them. I don't know if we'll need to, but maybe. And I think we're going to use our mercenary peltas to do the tower turning this time around, because we can't risk losing any hastati. We'll need them for the actual fighting. Now that we've done this battle basically already this turn, we can kind of speed through this because we know how it's going to go. We're at 60%. We've used about half of our ammo, so I'm going to get a little closer just because I'm a little nervous about missing shots at this point. Yeah, that's better. Just want to make sure we knock down that wall. This would be a really dumb way to lose a battle and not take the city. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, let's send our mercenary peltas inside the city. And we will get them up on the walls here. Don't really care about any casualties I take to them. It's kind of a junk unit. And we'll go ahead and turn these towers. So what is the route that we're going to take into the city? I think this route. So we will go ahead and get off the walls here. And then go over here, turn this tower. And then we'll go back over here and turn the rest of these towers, because we need them to be turned as well. Yes. Are they confused? Yeah, they're confused. All right, get off the walls. And then go up here. There we go. Now they understand. Perfect. Okay, now come down. We don't need to turn all of these towers. Just this one. And then go back up on the walls right there. And I can start bringing in my troops. So we'll bring in my hastati. We will bring in my Roman archers, my general, and my equites. Okay. Then these mercenary peltas will go turn all the rest of these walls. We will enable fire at will in guard mode for our hastati, and we will disable skirmish mode and enable guard mode for our archers. Now that we have turned these towers, we'll go ahead and send our hastati to right here. Send our archers right behind them. Get my general up here, move everyone out. And let's keep moving our mercenary peltas, turn one more tower. Don't think it will be necessary, but just in case. And then I will just go ahead and move up all my troops to the side of the city center right here. Alright, everyone run into place. I'm curious if they'll charge us. I think they'll charge us once we get on the city center, but probably not before. Let's spread out our 2 units of hastati. I'll have one all the way over here, one more over here, so that if this unit of armored hoplites targets either of them, they'll be getting hit in the back by Pila. Alright, and kind of going along with that principle, let's go ahead and march onto the city center. That's going to make the hoplites react, but we want to have 2 very different positions for those hastati. And then I'll get my archers up here as well. Hopefully they target this first unit of hastati. Yes, they are. Let's get my general up to here so we can provide moral support, because these hastati will be a little bit scared as the hoplites get closer. Okay, get into position. And then stop there. Throw your Pila. Let's get our cavalry up here as well. We may need them. Actually, cavalry can go ahead and line up behind the enemy armored hoplites. Can we get our Pila in? Nice, that's going to be good damage. This other unit, I'm going to tell them to stop so they can get some Pila in as well. Are they in range? Not quite. Okay, let's tell them to get in range. Throw their Pila. They're going to be behind the enemy armor hoplites. So they will do a good amount of damage with those Pila. Let's get my Equites over here as well. All right, Pila are gonna get thrown from this second unit. Nice, right in the back of these armored hoplites. Throw your second volley, and then we can help out. Oh, well, they're charging now. Stop, don't finish your charge. Just stand behind them, throw your Pila at point blank. They should throw their Pila, right? This unit of Hastati is not too happy. Come on, reload. Throw your Pila, it's gonna be the quickest way to kill these armored hoplites. Get my archers to fire a little bit as well. Okay guys, stop. Are you reloading? Back up a little bit. Throw your Pila, come on. Archers are doing good damage to the back of these armored hoplites. This first unit is kind of just bait, honestly. Come on, throw those Pila. There we go. Now we got the second unit reloading. They're gonna get their Pila in. Beautiful. Yeah, that's scary. All right, now charge in. Hit them in the back. Cavalry can also charge in. Just finish them off. We'll rally troops just in case, but not going to be necessary. This will be easy now. I'm surprised we still have arrows coming in. Usually they don't fire if they're going to hit allies. Hold on. Walk off. Stop firing. Enemy commander was the last one to die. And just like that, Corinth, Sparta, and Athens have all been taken. Beautiful. We only took 139 casualties. We actually took fewer casualties than the enemy, which is very good when fighting armored hoplites. So I'm proud of that. We're getting better at fighting them. And Corinth falls. Beautiful. Oh, and we got a Wonder of the World. That will actually be very helpful for public order in this part of the world. Statue of Zeus. Yes, very good. Now, if we enslaved Corinth, we would get 8,000 population dumped into Salona. It would take us straight to... what, like a large city? But I don't know if we could hold on to Salona. If we exterminate Corinth, we're not going to have much population here. And we're going to lose a lot of income. But we would get an instant 11,000 denarii. I think we should enslave Corinth and just deal with Salona being huge. Public order of 35% isn't great. Population of 5,695 is crazy. But there we go. With low tax rate, that brings our public order to 65%. Build one unit of peasants up to 75%, just like that. Beautiful. So in 2 turns, we will be up to a large town, and then we can almost go straight to a minor city in Salona. So that's huge. In Corinth, our public order is 35%. Bring down the tax rate. That gets us to 65%. We can retrain some troops. That will help as well. Ooh, and we can build onagers here. That's really nice. I've been missing onagers. These ballistas, they're okay, but they're not great. You need 2 ballistas to take 1 city. So onagers, I think you only need 1 onager to take a city, and you can usually knock down multiple portions of the wall or knock down like a tower and a portion of the wall. So that'll be really nice. Do we not have even a basic barracks here? Are you serious? You guys have a catapult range, but you don't even have a barracks in Corinth? As the Greeks, when you could build armored hoplites, that's crazy. Well, let's go ahead and build some more Roman archers inside of Corinth. In Sparta, we'll also build Roman archers in case we're attacked. We'll bring this cavalry into Corinth. Athens, we're probably gonna definitely get attacked there. Hey, we've taken all 3 cities. This really strengthens our control over Greece. Salona is gonna be a minor city. We have 3 really good cities in Sparta, Corinth, and Athens, and I think we'll hold on to all of them. Large city, minor city. See, Athens, since we exterminated them, is down to 1,500 population. Well, that is with a bunch of population pulled out because of peasants being trained there. Lower that a little bit now that we have the Statue of Zeus. Still, population of 2,000 is not great. So we're going to need to build Athens back up, which is a shame. But let's see like how much money we're making from trade in these cities. 396 from Corinth. 919 from Sparta, 1,527 from Athens. Wow. And we can go straight to the next level of mines. We'll be making 350 a turn there. Yeah, let's do that. What do we want to build in Corinth? Let's build, maybe a shipwright for more trade. We'll hold off on building something in Corinth for now. But that's a really good city. And thank goodness we finally got the statue of Zeus. I'm going to open this wonder, but I'm first going to drop a save because sometimes when you open these wonder announcements, you crash the game. So we're going to drop a save because I don't want to have to fight those 2 battles again real quick. And let's take a look at this. The Great Temple at Olympia houses a magnificent gold and ivory statue of Zeus, the father of the gods, possibly the greatest statue ever made in the Greek world. The temple itself was built by Liban in 450 BC, and although impressive in itself, was not felt to be sufficiently great for such an important site. The Athenian sculptor Pheidias was given the sacred task of constructing a truly majestic statue of Zeus. His skills were such that he created a seated Zeus that looked as if he would knock down the temple if he ever stood up. The effect of this 13-meter tall figure was awe-inspiring, exactly as intended. Very good. And that is going to help public order everywhere. Remember how all these cities were blue and red? Not anymore. Segesta doesn't even have a general in it right now, and they're happy. Now they're green. Medulanium, green. Iridium, green. Ariminum, green. That is a hugely important wonder. And I'm really glad that I now have it, because I can up tax rates everywhere now. Tax rates straight to high in Medulanium. Segesta, very high. No problem. Iridium, high. Ariminum, high. All of these cities, we're going to up the tax rate for a little bit. That is going to hurt our population growth rate slightly, but right now the most important thing is that we repair our economy. So tax rates are going up everywhere. Not Salona quite yet, because we're dealing with the excess population from enslaving Corinth, but we will eventually increase that. Did we get any population at Carthage? I think we did get a little population here. That went up to 25,000, but I'm not sure. That does help with public order, though, now that we have the statue of Zeus. So at Thapsus, we can stop doing monthly games, which will save us a ton of money. We'll go up to yearly games. And can we go up to normal tax rate? No, not quite yet. But this is going to be the turning point for our economy. I'm calling it now. Next turn, all of our financial issues will be gone. Salona is expanded. We got a new retinue for Marcus Julius. You got a military tribune for +1 command when defending. Improves the chances of getting elected to senatorial offices. 8 would be nice. And 10% bonus to your popularity with the Senate. Also very helpful. Nice. This is good. This is looking much, much better. Up the tax rate in Sparta. Beautiful. Oh, we are about to be made of money. Let me tell you. Projected profits for next turn, 9,207. That does include us sacking some cities, but still, very good, very good. All right, let's go ahead and end this turn. Again, hoping for nothing to happen. Okay, we're being attacked by the Gauls. Always fun to do a bridge battle. We do at least one per part. This is a pretty decent army. They have some chosen swordsmen, so they'll have excellent morale. Honestly, if they sent them at the front of the army, this would actually be difficult, but Manius Julius always wins. He always wins. All right, y'all know the drill. We draw up our infantry, draw up our cavalry, release the dogs, and we always win. So, there we go. Infantry gets into place. Get ready to use war cry. Are they sending the chosen warband first? No, they are not. That will be a mistake. Alright, go ahead and use war cry. We'll go ahead and release the dogs now. Charge in with our barbarian mercenaries. They've used war cry, so they're going to do bonus damage. This first unit, barbarian mercenaries, 73 strength, was not the right unit to send in first. They're going to break immediately as they're getting surrounded by hundreds of troops. The dogs have showed up, so that's going to hurt their morale as well. we should have breaks here immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and send in my light cavalry to start chasing down anyone that's fleeing. We're going to have a mass rout pretty quickly here, and since they're attacking from the south, they're going to flee to the south, so we really need to get our cavalry in here. Enemy commander is dead. Yeah, this is a mass rout situation. There we go. And we'll send him a general, see if he can get some kills as well. We want him to continue improving if possible. Let's go ahead and withdraw with my war dog handlers so they're not in the way. But yeah, almost the whole enemy army has broken. My guess is that this unit that's not broken is the Chosen Swordsman. Sure is. There we go. But they've broken now. Let's go ahead and speed this up. And we will just run down as many of these troops as possible. Get some experience for my general and my war dogs. Let's tell my war dogs to stop fleeing. We don't want them to actually flee off the battlefield. Alright, general, get a few more kills. Is that everyone? Beautiful. Heroic victory. I don't think it was heroic. We killed 2,200 of them, though. We took 27 casualties. We got some experience from my barbarian cavalry mercenaries, so they're up to a silver chevron of experience, which is very nice. Another army wiped off the map. That's why it's so hard to leave this defensive position. It's just... it's so good at defending. Like, yeah, we're never going to take Massilia if we just sit here forever, but we can sit here forever. We're just completely blunting the entire strength of the Gauls. They're not taking any cities anywhere in the world because they're just sending all of their troops to die on this bridge. So the Greeks are counterattacking at Athens, which was smart. That's the weakest, worst defended city that we have in Greece right now. So we need to figure out how we're going to defend Athens. We will lose this battle if they try to take the city right now. But also, we don't really have enough strength to field an army that could defeat Captain Nicaeus in the field. Maybe we could. I don't know. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's go through our announcements real quick. Ooh, Numidia is at war with all of the Romans now that they've betrayed us. Pontus is at war with the Seleucids. Armenia has allied with the Dacians. And Gaul has declared a ceasefire with SPQR somehow. We got our archers in all of our Greek cities, which is good. Definitely glad I got those into Athens before we were besieged. At Salona, we got some peasants, so we're able to hold on to the city now as we go up to a large town. Very nice. Let's take a look at our construction report. We got a shipwright at Iridium. And, I mean, we have a decent amount of money, but not a ton. So we still need to be careful. We still want to be investing in things that will improve our economy further. What would a forum do for our trade? It would increase it by 100. That's not bad. What would a dockyard do? Oh, that would increase it by like 300. That's really good. Highways? About 200. Let's go for a dockyard. I mean, it is expensive, but we've got money right now. It would be nice to be able to build quinqueremes, and it will help with trade. That takes our number of trade fleets up to 3, which is going to increase the income here and at other nearby cities. That'll pay for itself. Good thing we repaired the walls at Segestica because we were attacked immediately. So we need to relieve Segestica this turn probably. Good thing Decius Julius is ready to attack. I think we'll probably have to fight that battle this turn. Take a look at our end of turn report. We profited 7,000 denarii. And let's take a look at what we're projected to profit next turn. Currently 5,300, but we haven't yet spent all of our money. So it's not going to be that much, but our economy is looking a little bit better now. We're not in desperation mode anymore. So we currently have 3 of our cities under siege. And unfortunately, the Carthaginians just showed up to, I mean, they're not going to join the Numidians in besieging me, but they're here. I almost want to take this army out real quick. We'll see. Can we reach Palma this turn? Not quite, unfortunately. Next turn, though. Okay. I still only see 3 units at Palma, so hopefully we can take them out in about 2 turns. Leptis Magna. Ooh. I forgot there were Numidians down here. Gizgo, at least he's not going to take Leptis Magna, because he probably could take it if he wanted to. But, okay. Should we just fight off these Carthaginians now? Maybe. We have this cavalry here. Let's see if we can get a victory here and maybe even get a general out of this. Because we will win this. And there's a chance that we get a general promoted here, which would be really nice. We could use the heavy cavalry right now. Okay. We will go ahead and send our Roman cavalry on one flank, barbarian cavalry on the other, so they're forced to fight on 2 sides. And let's go ahead and get some kills with our Numidians on maybe the Iberians. Yeah, we'll go ahead and fight the Iberians. They're going to be the easiest target to hit. It would be nice to fight the round shields, but the Numidians will do as well. Just use all your missiles on the Iberians. Stay away from the peasants. Okay, there we go. Used all of our missiles. Go ahead and back them up. And let's flank this army with all of my cavalry. We can use the Numidians, but we don't really want to use them as a melee unit that much. We'll just use them to intimidate the enemy with their presence. It'd be great if the infantry would chase them and kind of overexpose themselves, and then we could hit them in the sides, but we'll see. Alright, let's go ahead and charge these Iberians. They're going to break right away. We'll also charge the peasants. They will also break pretty easily. We'll get the Numidians in here to help out. Yeah, immediately everyone's going to break. We will then reassign our actual fighting cavalry to go fight the round shields, and we'll let our Numidians hunt down the Iberians. There we go. Everyone has broken. The enemy are running. We will just get a few more kills, and that's it. Nice, easy win. Great, we took 30 casualties, killed 509 of them. That's a nice, easy victory. Any chance we get our commander to promote? No, unfortunately not. Well, let's go ahead over here, post up next to Carthage, and we'll be available to defend if they decide to try and take Carthage, which they may do. I feel like with the cavalry here and Roman archers inside the city and stone walls, I think we will win that if they try to take the city by force. Now, let's go ahead and try to free Segestica. Let's fight Gaedres. Where do we want to fight you? Probably just right here. Any good reinforcements? We could buy some Illyrians, but we're still trying to hold on to our money as much as possible. Alright, Gaedres, what do you have? You have about as many troops as me. You have some decent militia hoplites with experience. Some militia cavalry, that'll be annoying. Some Falksmen, some missile troops, nothing too good. And Bloody for +1 morale. Unlucky Leader for +2 morale. This man has the ability to inspire his followers in battle. His setbacks seem more the result of bad luck than a lack of talent. That's an interesting trait. Sober, Mentor, he's decent. He has +3 morale, which is pretty impressive. Decius Julius has Gloomy for -1 morale. So morale will be an issue, but Roman troops tend to have better morale anyway, so we should be fine. And I think we have a better army. We just need to do a good amount of damage with our missile troops and try not to get caught fighting the front of those militia hoplites.
The Thracians are fools.
The Thracians are fools. What a start. Okay. Let's take the high ground. Yeah, if we got it, we should use it. We have archers, so that'll be useful. We have a lot of missiles. So let's drop our Principes here. Fire at will, guard mode. Drop our Illyrians in front of them. We'll let them skirmish. And we'll use guard mode on them. Guard a flank with the Basterni. General behind the front line. Keep our war dogs safe in the back. And archers up here. We could take this even higher ground, but I don't think they would charge us. I think we're better off fighting from the high ground over here because we're closer to the Thracians. Since we're attacking them, they don't have to charge at us. So I think we should try and take this high ground. Beautiful. Let's group up and redeploy to the top of this hill. I think the missile cavalry might try and get some damage in on us while we move, but that's okay. Once we have the high ground, our archers will be able to counter those missile cavalry. Let's go ahead and hide these Illyrians in the woods. I won't need them for the battle, and I don't want them to die because they're the only troops inside the city right now. Alright. This high ground will be nice. Beautiful. Alright, we are drawn up. Let's turn off skirmish mode for my archers, not that I will end up using it. And, alright, can we drop... I mean, the high ground is nice, but I don't love the angle. Let's be on the slope. I think that gives us slightly better range. And how do we want to get them to fight us? Maybe we should release the dogs on one of these units. I kind of want to release the dogs on the missile cavalry. We could... Oh, Falksmen. Are they in range of my archers? Yes, get some damage on these Falksmen. They have horrible armor, and they are walking right into prepared troops. Let's turn off fire at will for my Principes. I want to use my Illyrians and my archers to do damage to these Falksmen, because they have horrible armor. They're going to break really easily. Yeah, this was a bad idea. Folksmen, this was one of their best units. Okay, these Illyrians got chased down before they were able to make it to the woods, so these militia cavalry killed them. That's okay, though. This unit of Folksmen is gone, which is good. Go ahead and stop firing. Don't waste your ammo. They're going to flee off the battlefield. Okay. I would say that's a good start. Even though we lost the reinforcements, they don't really matter. And we've killed 10% of the enemy strength. Let's see if they send someone else up the hill. We'll just give them a second. Yes, they are sending someone else up the hill. Very bad idea. We're going to fire at will with our archers and our Illyrians and kill these hoplites. Again, these hoplites are their only real strength. What they should have done, I mean, yes, we have the high ground, so regardless, they're going to struggle. But what they should have done is charged with all their troops at once. By sending them up one at a time, they're just asking to have them ripped apart by my missile troops. So, yeah, not a very good idea. Let's give them a second, see if they send someone else. And actually, these Illyrians somehow reformed. Don't know how that happened, but go hide in the woods now. Hopefully they can actually make it this time. Can you guys hide? There we go. Now they're hidden. How did that happen? I thought they were getting chased down by the militia cavalry, but I guess not. They are no longer that interested in fighting me, which I understand. I could release... Well, I'm going to release the dogs next. Do I release them on Peltas or militia cavalry? Or Folksmen? Let's release them on Peltas, because they'll do really good damage against the Peltas. Hopefully that encourages the enemy to charge up the hill a little bit. Once the dogs have been released, I'm going to go ahead and withdraw my handlers. Let the dogs do their thing. They'll do some damage against the Peltas. Who else? This is the second unit of Peltas. That was not a great idea. So they took a good amount of damage to the Peltas. Didn't lose any of my handlers, so I didn't take any real casualties from that. And we've killed 25% of the enemy army. Now, let's go ahead and just start pushing towards the enemy at this point, because we have really good missile troops, so we will win this battle, I believe. Let's see if we can hide the War Dog handlers in the woods. I just want to keep them safe in case this battle gets crazy. Does this really count as woods? I don't know. Just stay at the top of the hill. You'll be safe there. Let's move a little bit closer to the enemy. We're going to lose the high ground advantage, but if they're not charging towards us, we can't use the high ground, so there's no point in waiting up here. We still have the advantage regardless of the high ground or not. Fire at will with the archers. Fire at will. No, we don't want to fire at will with the Principes quite yet. That was just some Peltas. We're going to wait. We will fire at will with these militia hoplites. That's fine. Alright, that unit of militia hoplites died pretty easily. We're going to let our archers just fire all their arrows. I'm totally fine with that. Anyone you can hit, hit. Okay, archers are out of ammo. Let's move up a little closer. And at this point, I will let 3 of my units of Principes fire at will. We'll save some ammo for later, but we are happy to fire at anyone who's in range with these couple of units. The Illyrians are out in front to tempt the enemy to try and attack. They're just bait, but they will skirmish. Get some shots in with our Principes. Nice. Yep, we're doing better than them, even though they're a missile troop. We have slight high ground, and we have, I think, probably better missiles. The Peel are pretty good. We're soaking up a good amount of missiles with my Illyrians, which is preferable as they're kind of a junk unit. Perfect. Now, let's push a little closer to the enemy. Let's go there. Run into position. And should I turn the rest of my Principes to fire at will? Go on, may as well. We really only have to worry about this unit of Folksmen at this point. But we are a lot stronger than the enemy. We have a lot of heavy infantry. They don't at this point. All right, get a little closer. There we go. We're in range. Hopefully we hit some Folksmen here. Nice. Okay, Folksmen are down to 98. At this point, we could really charge the enemy and just end the battle. Alright, we're getting hit by these Peltas, so let's go ahead and just kick this off. Charge the Peltas, charge the militia hoplites with these 2 units of Principes, charge the Folksmen with these 2 units. I'll let my Illyrians get some action in as well, and let me get my general ready to fight the enemy general. He's probably going to be needed for that. Let's get my Basterni up here. Maybe they can help out with the general as well. Okay. enemy folksmen are wavering. They're broken. Beautiful. Everyone go ahead and fight the enemy general. My general, I'm going to let him fight for a second, and then I'm going to pull him back. I just don't want to lose him, especially because we really don't need him. Let's let my Basterni fight these Peltas and these militia cavalry. Can we get this enemy general? That would be nice. I don't think we're going to catch him. But I will send my Illyrians that I hid in the woods to go fight him if possible. Same with these guys that are past him, these Principes. See if they can just turn on the enemy general and run him down. Come on, can we get him? No, unfortunately we're not going to be able to get the enemy general, but that's okay. You guys go fight the enemy over here that the Basterni are fighting. They're better troops than the militia cavalry, but they are outnumbered here, so probably going to have some slight morale issues there. So we're running to save them. Any chance of us catching this general? No, unfortunately not. Alright, let's turn my infantry to go deal with the remaining troops that haven't broken, and we'll let my general hunt down these Peltas. Alright, let's get my archers up the hill so that they take less damage from the militia cavalry. Are they just going to charge? They are just going to charge. Okay, so fight if you have to. I don't know if my archers are going to win that. No, they're going to lose that. Go ahead and send my Principes in to fight these militia cavalry if they can catch them. This infantry, go fight the infantry over there. This should not be as close as it is. Oh, enemy general has reformed actually and is fighting my general. That's great. If we can kill the general. Ooh, please kill him. Kill him. He's right there. Run him down. Ah, they're slightly faster than us, unfortunately. I'm going to actually stop pursuing and see if he can reform again. Any chance he reforms? I doubt it. Unfortunate. Okay, we lost a unit of archers, which is a shame. Let me send these Illyrians to run down these hoplites. And can we fight these militia cavalry, please? Principes are up here. Send my general after them as well. I'm going to rally troops because these Principes are wavering. Y'all should not be struggling to fight militia cavalry. They are not that good. At least they're fighting hand to hand. Sometimes these guys are really hard to track down because they're light cavalry. There we go, they're broken. So we've dealt with them. Now over here, who hasn't broken? Just some Peltas. Yeah, all of you can keep chasing the Peltas. Basterni can chase these Peltas. Okay. Try and get some more of these militia cavalry as they flee. This battle's basically won. Just trying to get some more experience for my general. Beautiful. And then... okay, battle has been won. Go get some more kills on these Peltas. Beautiful. Nice. Alright. Let's go ahead and end it there. Took some casualties. It was a little bit messy. We took 438 casualties. Didn't kill Gadries, unfortunately, but we did get rid of most of the army. Where did he get off to? Probably ran into the shadows over here. So let's see if we can pursue. What do we have in Segestigo? Yeah, we still have some mercenary Peltas, or Illyrian mercenaries, rather. All right, let's go ahead and send Decius Julius south. We want to pursue Gadries and push into Thrace a little bit. Hopefully Byzus, this big army here, gets himself killed fighting against the Brudii, because I don't want to fight that big army. We've already used so much of our strength. We just went and retrained at Ariminum, and look, we've lost our unit of archers, and we've almost lost a full unit of Principes. We have defended Segestica. Now we need to figure out the defense of Athens. This is tough. Definitely we want to be building troops in Corinth, more Roman archers. In Sparta, we need more Principes. How can we fight this army? What is the composition of this army? 5 units of hoplites, 2 cavalry, 2 ballistas, Peltas, 3 units, 1 unit of archers. It's not a great army, honestly. They don't have any armored hoplites. Let's see if we can put together a little army. All right, Marcus the Cold-Hearted. Ooh, that's new. What is that for? Vanquisher, maybe? Famous orator? Ooh, this guy is phlegmatic. This man's cold and unemotional ways make him an uncharismatic figure or not quite human. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's take him out of Corinth and see what the public order goes to. 60%. Is this one of the situations where removing troops would increase the public order? Out of curiosity. No, it is not. So we will have rioting in Corinth if we take troops out. Well, let's move some peasants from Sparta to Corinth, and let's bring back the units that we don't intend to use in the combat into Corinth. We will... Can we not? Oh, we can't retrain those units because we don't have a barracks of any kind here. Let's queue some peasants for some public order. Okay, that brings us to 55%. Bring back... What do we want the least? Maybe Equites? Maybe we could leave some Roman archers here in case we get attacked by Melicarides of Sparta. Let's take some Hastati out of Sparta. We'll give them to Marcus the Cold-Hearted. And some Roman archers. And then Corinth, what are you at? 60%. Interesting. Sparta's at 105%. So we'll bring some more Roman archers over to Corinth. They're to 70% now. So after this unit of archers is built, they should be under control. And then let me send over Marcus the Cold-Hearted to here. I don't think we want to attack Captain Nikias, but I kind of want to this turn just to get rid of the threat here and so we can keep building troops at Athens. What do we have inside the city? We have 3 units of infantry, 1 unit of archers. We have 4 units of archers, 4 units of infantry, and 2 cavalry outside of the city. Can we win that? Oof, that's kind of tough. I don't think it's going to get any easier for us if we wait. So I think we should just start this battle. This is a very different episode from last time. Last time it was 2 incredibly slow battles. This time it's like 6 very quick battles. So, everything is full strength, of course. Their commander's unit is militia cavalry. That's kind of annoying. Although it means maybe I could chase that unit with a unit of Equites for the whole battle and keep them away from the rest of the army so they don't pass on any morale bonuses to the rest of the army. We'll see. Alright, let's start this battle. We want to really utilize our archers and our infantry, and we just want to make sure we're not fighting into the front of prepared hoplites. That's the main priority here. Ooh, there's high ground, but they have the high ground. Interesting. Wow, that is extreme high ground. If we can circle them off this high ground, we can win this very easily. Okay, I honestly like the starting position we have here. So let's just group up like this, and yes, the reinforcements are coming from the top of the hill. Okay, let's see if we can just twist this enemy army. They tend to try to drop opposite your main army. So if we can get them to circle off this hill, we are going to be so sad. Okay. Oh, the high ground here is going to be nasty. All right. Archers, stop right there. Reinforcing infantry, move forward a little bit. And if these archers can get a shot on this enemy commander, that would be excellent. Okay. Wait, looks like they kind of want to just fight, maybe? Are they starting this up? I don't like having the low ground. Is there any way we can twist them? Okay, they're dedicating their ballistas, their commander, and their peltasts to this reinforcing army. Okay. I mean, I guess it's not a bad thing to do damage to them. Let's... how do we want to handle this? I don't want to waste all my ammo on these peltasts. But I guess it's not bad to get rid of them. Okay, keep twisting the main army and see if we can get onto the high ground. So, line up... like over here maybe? No, I think that might be too extreme of an angle. Go there, and we'll just slowly do this. Can we get a shot on the enemy commander yet? Not quite the commander, but we can hit this Greek cavalry. Let's hit the Greek cavalry, turn on guard mode, turn off skirmish mode. And let's turn on fire at will for my infantry. Let's also go ahead and just march down the hill a little bit so my infantry can throw some missiles. Now... should we just be firing at these hoplites instead of worrying about getting the high ground? Maybe. But if we can get the high ground, it will be really helpful. Our archers are doing well. They've killed 6% of the enemy with just 1 unit so far. So that's good. It's a good start. Let's... I mean, do we even want to use these hoplites? I don't think so. Let's march down the hill a little bit with my archers, see if we can't get a shot on the enemy militia cavalry. If we can get that commander off the field, that'll be nice. Enemy Greek cavalry is down to 63, so if either of my units of Equites make contact with that unit, it'll break. Perfect. We can hit the militia cavalry, start weakening the enemy's commander's unit. Let's get my Equites up to the top of the hill here. And same with my general. Same with my other unit of Equites. Okay, we are weakening the enemy commander down to 102. Beautiful. And let's get my infantry. Ooh, interesting. These Peltas. They're on their own. They're almost in range of my Principes. They are in range of my Principes. Perfect. Equites, get out of the way. Let the Principes throw some missiles in. Oh, yeah. Nice. They're going to take good damage here. Equites, go ahead and finish these Peltas. Perfect. All right. Turn off fire at will for these units. These archers, who are you firing at? Fire at the Greek cavalry now. Okay, now my main army has almost made it to the high ground. I'm going to tell them to just sprint to the high ground now. And then we are going to be so set. Perfect. Equites, finish off these Peltas. Okay. You guys, fire at will. This Greek cavalry is routing. Do we even fire at will? Yeah, may as well just fire at will. Just shoot at whatever you want to hit. Just get your Pila out. This militia cavalry is the enemy commander. They're going to get hit by Pila, most likely. They're fleeing. Perfect. All right, just get out of the way. Let the archers do their thing. Perfect. Getting our Pila in. Our archers are firing. Nice. This is exactly what we wanted. Okay, get the Equites on this flank. Honestly, we might want to send them to pursue fleeing units. These units of infantry... Honestly, fire at will and stop right there. They might have a shot there. Archers have a shot. Yeah, you guys just fire at will. That's perfect. Don't skirmish. Actually, yes, do skirmish if you need to. You also stop right there and fire at will. These Peltas, or these archers, just broke immediately. Getting a bunch of Pila in. These hoplites are wavering. Okay, let's go ahead and deploy our cavalry for chasing down these fleeing troops, because most of the enemy army is going to be fleeing now. So this other unit can pursue these fleeing hoplites. Let's get my Equites to pursue these militia hoplites. No reason to pursue fleeing militia cavalry because they're just too fast. But these hoplites are wavering. Do you guys have a shot? Okay, they broke. Perfect. Cavalry, hunt them down. Let's get my general actually to hunt these guys down. Let my general get some kills. Why not, right? I'm going to let the archers keep firing, though, because if they get experience, that is worth a lot. Archers are really good. Okay. General, get a couple kills here. He's going to take some damage from the allies, but that's okay. This unit of Equites is hunting down these fleeing... What are these? Archers, perfect. And then get the ballistas. They're going to break. Go ahead and hunt them down. This unit is taking some shots from the enemy militia cavalry. Let's see if you can break the militia hoplites real quick. General, turn around on the enemy commander. Just kill him real quick. Get some more kills there. Should break pretty quickly. This unit of hoplites is fleeing the battle. Okay, perfect. Run down the general. And then you can run down these fleeing troops. Can we kill this general? I just send all the cavalry after the general. I want to kill him. Well, it's just a commander actually, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe send the Equites after these fleeing hoplites. Just let the general get as many kills as possible. Perfect. Get these ballistas. Enemy commander is dead. Okay. Equites, you guys enjoy hunting down these hoplites and these Peltas. Beautiful. They broke. There we go. Last couple guys are getting killed by archers here. And that's it. Nice. We took 75 casualties. 50 of them were from my troops shooting each other. And we killed 1,700 of them. Beautiful. That was textbook perfect. Starting on the low ground, ending on the high ground. Nice, easy victory. Send our Equites back to Corinth for the public order bonus. And Marcus the Cold-Hearted can... I don't know, do we want to just fight Melicarides soon? Yeah, this is a pretty junky army. I think we can handle that. So, can we retrain these Equites. Yes, retrain the Equites. We're going to want them for fighting all those ballistas in Melikertes' army. What is this? There's like no infantry here. 3 units of infantry, mostly just missile troops and cavalry. So we'll build some more cavalry here in Athens, retrain this infantry, and then Marcus the Cold-Hearted can hunt down Melikertes next turn. Hey, we may end up taking Larissa after all. I said I wouldn't, but it's possible we may. This is going much better than expected. I thought we were going to run into armored hoplites in all these cities, but I think they really only had armored hoplites in Sparta because they had the city barracks here. You know what? I think that is a perfect place to end this part. Last time the episode was a little uncomfortably long. This one's going to be a little bit shorter, but it's nice to switch it up every now and then. So we're going to go ahead and end that there. I got everything I wanted this part. We got our statue of Zeus at Olympia. We got Corinth. We got Athens. We defended against the Thracians at Segestica, defended against the Gauls at this bridge, once again. Thank you, Manius Julius. And we just need to defend Carthage now, take Palma, probably in the next turn or two, and maybe see if we can take Larissa. If not, at least kick the Greeks out of Greece. And things are looking pretty good. We'll have to turn our attention to the Numidians soon, which is going to be difficult. But Cirta and Tingi are pretty easy to take. You just pull up with a ship and take both of these cities. Where it gets a little more difficult is when you want to take these last 2 cities down here. Look how far Nept is, and Dimity is pretty out there as well. So it can be pretty difficult to just reach them. They have the natural defense of these huge deserts. But give us like 5 more parts, and we should have the Numidians taken out of the game as well. Most likely. But we can start pushing into Thrace soon. Maybe pick our next front to attack on. I'm thinking Spain and France might be a good place to invade next, because Numidians should fall pretty quickly, and then they're the natural enemy. The Spanish made enemies of me by coming up and trying to attack us many, many times. At Segesta, at Carthage, they kind of sealed their own fate by doing that. They could have been friends with me. I would have traded with the Spanish if they just allowed that to happen, but the Spanish I will target soon, and then I can finally deal with the Gauls, so they stop attacking me in northern Italy. Things are looking up. Marian reforms are coming soon, so lots to look forward to next part. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great year so far, and I'll see you next time.